Alright guys, Vengeance 2011, the result, let's get right into it. The opening match of the night, well actually the one we didn't get to see was the dark match, so I have no idea what happened, but we do know that Wade Barrett beat the sliding Daniel Bryan. And you know, Daniel Bryan's going to rebound eventually. Does he turn heel? Where does he go from here? We're going to have to wait and see. But the first match on the card, Air Boom versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Now, you know, the match was alright. It went about 18 minutes, I think. It ended around 7:20, and Air Boom picked up the victory. You know, Kofi hit a... It wasn't botched, but he kind of missed the Trouble in Paradise, tagged in Evan Bourne. Evan hit the Airborne, and they were kind of shocked. They were mad, and then Zack Ryder's music played. Now, Zack Ryder came out. They were doing the match. He was pretty much beating up on Dolph Ziggler. Airborne stayed out with him, as did Swagger and Vicky Guerrero. Airborne got ejected. I wasn't sure why. I don't know if they interfered. And then it was just Swagger and Vicky Guerrero left to help Dolph Ziggler. Now, I thought Ziggler was going to retain. I wanted Zack Ryder to win, but Dolph Ziggler did in fact pick up a victory by a super kick, or a Yamakaze, or whatever the hell they called it. They called it a super kick, but I think it was called something else. Now, what had happened is Swagger tried to interfere a couple times. Vicky distracted him. You know, Zack kicked away Jack Swagger, came back in the ring, got super kicked 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And then you had Beth Phoenix versus Eve Torres. Now, this match, I actually thought for a Divas match, this was a very good match. Now, Natalya and Kelly were banned from ringside because of an altercation behind the scenes tonight, so they weren't out there. So Beth Phoenix picked up a clean win over Eve Torres, and I thought it was really good. Eve Torres missed a moonsault, and she hit a glam slam on her, and it was really cool. And it was probably one of the first Divas match I've actually enjoyed this year. Christian versus Sheamus. Christian pretty much won. You know, the first time Sheamus was going for a bro kick, Christian was able to hit him with a spear. The second time, a little later on in the match, he was going for a spear, gets bro kicked, Sheamus wins this feud. You know, and then coming into it, you had the big matches. Now, I thought this was going to be one of the main events. It turned out it wasn't, and there's a reason why. You had Triple H and CM Punk versus Awesome Truth. Now, Awesome Truth, right off the bat, won. They beat Triple H and CM Punk. Now, did they beat him completely legit? No. What happened? Kevin Diesel Nash interfered. Triple H was beating the shit out of R-Truth outside the ring. They were going at it. He threw him over the barrier where the announcers are. Kevin Nash came out, hit Triple H, started beating him down, brought him in the ring, beating him up, kicking him in the corner, and then he powerbombed him. And it looked like, and it honestly looked like this was a legit injury, not, yeah, I don't know if he's injured or not, but he kind of accordioned. He came down on his neck, you know, and they sold it very well. Whether or not there was a legitimate injury or not, we're going to have to wait and see. But Kevin Diesel and Nash is around, so leading up to Survivor Series, we have a storyline pretty much built up. And then you came to Randy Orton versus, you know, I wasn't sure how I was feeling about Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. I thought it was going to be one of the best matches of the night. It was a very good match. You know, in the end, Randy Orton picked up the victory, though. He hit an RKO. You know, Randy Orton kicked out of a crossroads in the match. It was pretty good. The Baggers got involved, and the Baggers were ultimately cost him to the defeat. And overall, it was pretty good, but it wasn't the match stealing. The match stealer like I thought it was going to be. And then came Mark Henry versus the Big Show. Now, I didn't have high expectations for this one at all. I was expecting a DQ or a count out. Now, what ended up happening? I went back and forth. Big Show chokeslammed me, kicked out. He World's Strongest Slam. Big Show, he kicked out. They went back and forth. And ultimately, Big Show is going up top. He's like, I got to figure out something. He goes up top. Mark Henry goes up there, hits him, goes to suplex him off the rope, breaks the ring. Now, this was supposed to happen, guys. You could see how the ring post gave way, but the ring was in disaster. The match pretty much ended right there. The ref, you know, called out the paramedics. They took out Big Show after about 5 minutes of selling it. He kind of crawled on a flatbed because he couldn't fit on the stretcher. And then Mark Henry they tried to help him. He was pushing them all away. and he was falling to the ground. He got up, and finally near the top of the ramp, he got up and was able to walk away with the help of a couple people. And then came to the main event. John Laurinaitis said, we're going to have the match no matter what that I want. I mean, that you guys want. And it was Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena. Last man standing match in a broken ring. It went inside the ring, outside the ring. I thought it was a very good match for the fact that I knew what was going to happen because of The Rock coming back to Survivor Series. In the end, what happened? John Cena hit an AA through a table. Put Del Rio through a table with an AA. Went back in the ring to get the count, but then Awesome Truth came in, interfered, skull-crushing finale to John Cena, and the ref had to start the count again. Alberto Del Rio got up, and John Cena got up as well. He was pissed off, came back in the ring, smacked him with a title, did Alberto Del Rio, and John Cena was not able to respond to the 10 count, guys. That was the Vengeance 2011 pay-per-view results. If you guys watched it, what did you think of the pay-per-view? Overall, I was pretty bored by it. I didn't really watch it because a lot of the matches were very predictable. You know, we knew some of the interference was coming. I had thought Kevin Diesel Nash was going to come back tonight. So overall, it wasn't a horrible match. I think it's finally great that we're going to start to see some of these legends come back. You know, we have The Rock, Cena teaming up. And John Cena tonight didn't have his regular Fruity Pebbles attire. He had his Thugonomics attire. And what I mean by that, back in the old day, he had the camo pants. He had black armbands, and he had the new shirt, you know, was it Never Stop Hating? Or something like that. And that was his new attire, kind of going back, and people were really liking that. Let me know what you guys think of Vengeance, guys. My name is Tubby Emu. Tubby Emu out.